Yeah, I know that.
We are live, Shalom Aleichem, live from Tzfat. And we are doing a little bit of the Parsha, according to their result. And that means we're going to have to do a little bit of an introduction here, because the way the Arizal works is that it's kind of based on the fact that you already have gone through Chaim, you've already gone through all of the introductions, and you kind of know what's going on. Now he's just explaining to you how creation works according to the Parsha. Okay? The Parsha is basically explaining, the Torah is revealing, it's explaining, it's basically playing out this cosmic story. Okay? So in order to do that, in order to have the red cow, we're going to have to do a little bit of an introduction. Okay? We have the world of, we have Ein Sof. Okay? It's always a good place to start. Ein Sof, everything comes from Ein Sof. Remember, everything always comes from Ein Sof. And then we have here the world of Atzilut. Atzilut. Below Atzilut, we have Bria. Okay? We have Bria, Yetzira, and Asiyah, but we're just going to call it Bria. Okay? Just going to keep it very general here. Right? Who lives here?
God.
God. Very good. Who lives here?
We.
God.
Well, we technically live here, but technically God is like, he's out of God. We don't see that. But God, this is where God lives. This is where God works, so to speak. Okay? This is where God lives. This is where God works. So when we say Dira B'Tachtoni, and what do we really mean? We want to take this and we want to bring it down here. Okay? So, but nonetheless, who are the main characters in the world of Atzilut, in God's house?
Yes.
Who lives in God's house? We're just going to keep it like super, super simple. Okay? We have what? Spirit, yeah, but we're just going to focus on two main characters here. Okay? We have Zeranpin. Okay?
He's up there?
Za. What?
He's up, I thought he was lower down.
No. Za stays here. We don't, yeah. Maybe the Gil L'Shlema, then Za will come down here, but currently Za is in the And then we have what? And then we have the Nukva. Okay, the Nukva. Alright? Zeranpin, Nukva. Zeranpin, Nukva. Zeranpin, Nukva. Zeranpin, Nukva. Or Kucha Brichu, Ushchinte. Kucha Brichu, Ushchinte. Kucha Brichu, Ushchinte. Kadosh Baruch Hu and the Shekinah. Okay? Does the Kadosh Baruch Hu look like a Vav? No. But this is how we are going to represent the masculine aspect of God. The Mashpia, we call that Zeranpin. We can also call it HaKadosh Baruch. Okay? The feminine aspect that receives the Shefa is called the Nukva. We can also call her the Shekinah. We can call her Rachel. We can call her Knesset Yisrael. We can call her Malchut. What?
Are these two yuds? What's going on? What's the picture going on?
These are the two representations of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and thing. If we get the Kabbalists say we can do this, so that's as close as we're going to get to Avodah Zarah. We're not going past this. Okay. All right. This is if Arizal can do this, we can do this. All right. Now, okay. What's important to understand is that God does not look like a vav. Are we clear on that?
That's a vav.
Okay.
Just symbols.
Now, the point is like this, okay? I want you to just massage your mind a little bit, okay? Because we have to I want you to grasp the concepts, the ideas, and not the form. Not the form, okay? I want you the spirit of what's going on here. The point is, we live here. This is creation. And in order for creation to exist, what does there constantly need to be a flow of? Shefa. That's right. In order for creation to exist, we need Shefa. Shefa needs to come here. Okay? What is Shefa? What is Shefa?
Divine flux.
Okay. Bring it down for me. What is
Light.
Shefa? What?
Light.
Abundance.
Light. Yeah. What does that mean? Just let's get real practical.
I didn't explain the difference between Shef and Ayers. The Ayers is continuously connected to its source, and the
Okay,
Shef.
just let me do the introduction. We want to get to the Parsha. We got a lot to do here, okay? Let's just be simple. Shefa. What is Shefa? Shefa is health. Shefa is
Well,
Parnasa,
Children.
money.
Like reveal.
Money is,
Children.
Shefa is shalom. Shefa is good. Okay? Peace, good, harmony, unity. Okay? In order for Shefa to come into the world, okay, what does there need to be?
a cleat.
There needs to be a zivug. Thank you very much. There needs to be a zivug. Okay, where does this Shefa come from? It's your question. Where does the Shefa come from?
Zerampin.
No! Idol worshiper.
God.
Comes from God. It comes from Ein Sof. Okay? Ein Sof comes from Ein Sof. Okay? However, the flow, the system is like this. From Ein Sof, it has to flow to. Let's just keep this. We'll keep it simple. I get the idea. Okay?
Items on the board.
It's got to flow to Zeranpin first. Zeranpin receives the Shefa. Okay? And then, what does he do?
Passes it on.
He has to give it to the Nukva. However, he can't give it in this state because in this state, they are called what? Back to back. No zivug back to back. That's not very good. Can't have a zivug back to back. That's kind of crazy. Okay? So they have to come what? Face to face. This is called face to face. So now Zal receives the Shefa, gives the Shefa to the Nukva. You guys with me? In what we call a zivug, unification, transference of energy, of light from the masculine to the feminine. This is the mashpia, this is the makabel. She receives this light, gives birth to the Shefa. Yay! Everybody's happy. Okay? Abba's happy, Ima's happy, the kids are happy. Everybody's happy. Okay? This is called Shalom Bait. This is called Geula. This is good. This is what we want. Okay? This is good. However, okay, this is like step one. We're going to get a little bit more technical. You guys with me? Next step. We're going to start over. Okay? What is Shefa? I know we said it's health, it's money, it's shalom, it's good, right? But all of these things are really levels of divine consciousness. It's divine consciousness, okay? So the Shefa is essentially when there is godly consciousness in the world, right? And primarily that consciousness is supposed to be within us, human beings, Adam. Is that when we have divine consciousness, what we call mochin, okay, you can call Shefa, or we can also call it mochin. What's mochin? It's like from the word moach. Moach means consciousness, okay? Divine consciousness. When we have divine consciousness, what does that mean? It means that we feel very humble. Anava, humility, shiflut, okay? The opposite of mochin, when there's no mochin, what's the level of consciousness that we have?
Self-centered.
If it's not divine consciousness, if I'm not filled with Einod Milvado, there's nothing but Hashem, then I'm filled with me consciousness, okay? Or ego, okay? Now, ego is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, God really wants us to have ego. Why? Because ego gives the world beauty and diversity and colors and smells and tastes, and no two snowflakes are the same. Meaning there's me, there's you, there's what I like, there's what you like. It gives us our own unique identity. Hashem wants there to be diversity in the world. So how do you create diversity? How do you go from a place of Ein Sof, complete unity and oneness, nothing but Hashem? Hashem wants a dira b'tachtonim. What's the tachtonim? Tachtonim is the place of ego. Ego equals diversity. Meaning there's me. If I have a feeling of me, you have a feeling of you. Now we have this like two unique identities. This separation. There's duality here. Remember? Okay? Atzilut is unity. and Bria is duality. Me, there's you. Okay? So now, Hashem wants there to be ego. Hashem wants there to be ego. However, Hashem does not want the ego to, so to speak, get out of control. To get out of control. To get out of hand. Okay? To overstep its bounds. It serves a function, it serves a purpose, a very important purpose. However, it needs to be mitigated. It needs to be put under control. It needs to be put in check. Okay? Or in the terms of the Kabbalah, it's called mituk. Mituk. Sweeten. We want a sweet ego. Oh, your ego's so sweet. Okay, that's what Hashem wants. Hashem wants sweet
That's a nice way to
ego.
say it.
Because what is sweet ego? Sweet ego is the feeling that I exist, however, I am completely nullified and I am surrendering to the infinite oneness of Hashem. I have a king. I'm not making the decisions here. Is that I'm just a channel, I'm just a servant, a humble servant, channeling and manifesting and expressing God's light in the world. That's called sweet ego. Sweet ego. Okay? When the ego has been sweetened. When the ego is not sweetened, when it's very sour and spicy and bitter, what is that? How do we describe that? Unsweetened ego. That's what we call pride or ga'ava. Arrogance. Yeshus. Okay? Ga'ava, yeshut, pride, arrogance. That's unsweetened ego. And when there's unsweetened ego, what does a world with 7 billion unsweetened egos look like?
The world today.
It kind of looks like the world we live in right now, right? That's kind of like the world is. Except for the Rebbe's like, you need better glasses, okay? The Rebbe sees sweet egos, okay? So unsweetened ego is a world full of arrogance, a world full of conflict, of war, of suffering, not a very, very fun place to live, okay? That's also called galut. However, Hashem wants us to sweeten the egos. When we all have sweet egos, and now we're not just caring about ourselves, it's not an egocentric universe that we live in, that everything revolves around me, but that I understand that I am revolving around God. It's a God-centered universe, and now when I see every living being, every living creature, wow, now I really have appreciation for others. There's what we can have, what's called hitkalalut. Hitkalalut is integration, interconnectivity. Mekablin dein min dein. We each receive from one another. Are you guys with me so far? You guys hanging in? We're okay so far? Okay. So now how does this work according to our result system, right? So it's like this. Ein Sof, okay, we have our two characters here. What do we have? We have Za, and we have the Nov. So the way it works like this, and this is like a piece that we didn't talk about yet in Seder Shtalshalut, but we're going to, so might as well talk about it now because it's like super important. We want ego, but we also want the ego to be sweetened, right? In Kabbalah, how do we call that? We call that chasadim and gevurot. Chasadim, gevurot. What's gevurot? Gevurot means boundaries. It means definition. It means limitation. It means this is where this ends and this is where this begins. Are you guys with me? Gevurot is putting boundaries. If Ein Sof is just like infinite expansion, then Gevurah limits that expansion. It says, nope, Adkan, until here. You guys with me? Okay. So the Gevurot is going to be the root of ego. It's the root of ego. It gives me my identity. It gives you your identity. Okay? The Gevurot and so if the Gevurot is our own unique conscious perceptions of self, then what sweetens the Gevurot? The Hasidim. Okay? The Gvurot are sweetened by the Hasidim. When you have an integration between Hasidim and Gvurot, now we have sweet Shefa flowing into the world. Okay? Because now there's Shefa, divine abundance, flowing into us, and we're using it in altruistic and holy ways. Okay? So the way it works like this. Both the Hasidim and Gvurot, which, by the way, if you want, according to the Arizal, Hasidim are characterized by the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and the Gvurot are characterized by the last 5. What are the last 5? What are the last 5? Or I should say the
parts of
end
fear.
letters. The 5
The part of the parts of fear.
end letters.
Oh.
Okay? We have 22 letters, but we also have 5 end letters. End letters.
Oh, this is-
What are those called? We have mem. I'm going to do it in numerical order. Numerical. Sorry, I'm not doing it in numerical order. I'm doing it in this one. Mem
This
Zavit,
isn't continuous.
Nun, yeah, Sadi, Pei, and
This isn't
Kaf.
really continuous.
Okay? I mean, we'll just write it with the Kaf Sofi. We're going to make a word. How do we call this? We call this Mansapach. Mansapach. Man. Pach. Everybody say Mansapach. 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 What's Mansapach? The 5 end letters. Why are the 5 end letters Gvurot? Because they stop one word and it's going to be the beginning of another word. Right? These are like boundary letters. They're at the end of a word. Okay? So these are the 5 end letters Mansapach. So in Kabbalah, they're called the 5 Gvurot. The 5 Gvurot. Again, what are the Gvurot? They give definition, they put limits, they create a sense of unique, independent identity.
Observe.
Who's? Mansapach. Yes, observe?
Observe.
No, don't ask Google. Google's not going to get this. Okay, so now we have Mansapach. So we have the Hasidim and we have the Gvurot. Both of these energies, where do they flow? What's the first stop? The first stop is Zeran. Both of them together flow to Zer Anpi. He gets a double portion. He's the Bechor. He gets a double portion. He gets his portion, which is Chasadim, and he also gets her portion, the Gevurot. Okay? He gets both of those portions. The Chasadim stay with him, and he will give the Gevurot to the Nukva. Okay? The Gevurot. So he gets both portions first, and then he gives her portion first. Okay, remember? Leit la migra meklum, the Malchut does not have any light of herself. She is dependent on Zah. It's a man's world. Not for much longer, but the way it's been is that he receives both portions, and his job is not to take all the energy for himself, because when the Gevurot stay with Zah, not very good. Okay? When you have an angry man, not very good. So he's got to give the Gevurot to her. She's got to be a little bit angry. Right? But spiritually speaking, yes. The energy that builds up Zer Anpin, which represents the divine soul, Chasadim. The energy that builds, that feeds the Nefesh Be'amit is the Gevurot. Okay? So now he's got Chasadim, and she has Gevurot. He's got Chasadim, and she has Gevurot. He has Chasadim, and she has Gevurot. Okay. Now, when the Nukva has the Gevurot, she is in a state of Din. Din. Okay? Meaning like, watch out. Okay? Because Din is strength, it's Koach, but it's also, but Koach needs to be put in check. Okay? So, if she has the gvurot, he has the chasadim, okay? Generally speaking, what's supposed to happen? What's supposed to happen? What's supposed to happen? You do a mitzvah down here. Okay? You do a mitzvah down here, and what does that do? That creates an awakening from below, called the mind nukbin, the feminine waters. That's right. That creates an awakening from below, and then that causes. What does that cause? What does that cause? It causes Zer Anpin and the Nukba to look face to face. Yeah? He has what? What does he have? Chasadim. What does she have? Gvurot. Right? But now they're face to face, and now there is a zivug. Zivug, okay? The chasadim get transferred to the Nukba. Okay? And now there is a, how shall we say, a fertilization, if you will, of chasadim and gevurot. And so now the chasadim and the gevurot are able to, the chasadim sweeten the gevurot, and then there is mazel tov, shefa, mochin, it flows into the world. Are you guys with me so far? This is like, if you only learned this, then you would practically know like 99% of Kabbalah. Okay? Are you guys with me so far? He gets the chasadim, she gets the gevurot. We do a mitzvah, causes the zivug. The gevurot are sweetened, and then that energy flows into the world. Okay? Which means now we get shefa, which, let's be honest, the shefa is building us up. Yeah? It's building us up. However, we're not going to take the shefa in a negative way. It's not going to feed our egos. It's not going to feed our arrogance. It's not going to feed our pride. Adraba, it's going to give us a much more feeling of achdut, of anava, of bittul, right? And so that's how we fix the world. That's how the world looks beautiful. Okay? When we have a lot of shefa, a lot of energy, a lot of strength, but it's sweetened. Yes? Okay. The last piece that we're going to say is like this, okay? So this is how it should work. However, before all, we have a problem. What happens though, when there is no zivug? What happens though when Za is left with the chasadim and the Nukba is left with the gevurot, but there's no zivug? The world still needs energy. The world still needs juice. It still needs shefa, right? The world must go, the show must go on. So the world must go on, the world must continue to exist. There's only one place that we're getting the shefa from. Okay, where are we getting the shefa from?
Back.
We're getting it from the Shekhinah. She's the one that has to bring in the shefa. However, the correct way, what we want, is when the Shekhinah brings the energy, the shefa, into the world, when the gevurot are sweetened by the chasadim. So that means there was a zivug there. However, if there is no zivug, and the Shekhinah now brings the energy into the world, because the world still needs energy, it still needs consciousness, we need to exist, right? We need to live. So what does that mean? It means that the gevurot now are coming into the world unsweetened. Okay? When there's no zivug, the gevura energy of the Shekhinah, that's what's feeding the world. And now the world is being fed with gevurot. Gevura energy, unsweetened gevura energy.
That's what's happening now.
What happens, what does the world look like, okay, when the world is being fed with unsweetened gevura energy?
So like entropy?
You're basically just you're like giving all of the shefa to the forces of evil.
Breaking down.
All of the forces of gava, of klipa, of arrogance, okay? It just strengthens it because they're taking this energy and they're using it to feed their egos, to feed more arrogance in the world. Does that make sense? So when there's no zivug, the gevura is coming into the world, right? Because it's unsweetened, there's no zivug. Are you guys with me so far? Okay? This is what the red heifer is talking about. Okay? This is what our parsha is talking about. That's what I just said? It's the parsha. Okay? You guys with me? You do this? All right. I'm going to stand because I'm a little too jazzed right now. All right. Ready?
Yeah. So Rabbi, just a quick question. So us down here, we have control over whether the zivug happens in a silut.
Oh, you better believe you do.
I'm
Oh, you better. I'm giving you one get out of jail free card. You can ask me that question one more time, and no one else shall ever make the mistake. The zivugim up here, they're 100% dependent on who?
I see it down here.
On you. On you. I want everybody to say the zivugim up in the world of Atzilut is 100%. Not 99%, 100% dependent on who?
Us.
No.
Me.
I want you to say me.
After all, ego talk.
Okay?
It's hard to.
Okay? You gotta stroke your ego and then sweeten it. Okay, stroke it, sweeten it. Stroke it, sweeten it.
Okay.
You stroke your ego by saying you are so important. V'hina Hashem nitzav alav u'meniach elyonim v'tachtonim u'miyached malchuto al am Yisrael bichlal ve'alav bifrat. Bifrat. Why does the Alter Rebbe say bifrat? Because you have to believe that you, not Yisrael bifrat, you bifrat, you, no one else. So you stroke the ego, I'm so important, but then you sweeten it. And you say, why was I given all of this koach? Why was I given all of this importance? To serve God. Not myself, God. That's kind of like a piece that a lot of us miss sometimes. So we want ego, gvurot, but we want to sweeten it as well. Right? So yes, all of these zivugim are totally 100% dependent on who?
Me.
That's right. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay? This is the secret of the verse. The Alter Rebbe brings it in Yom Yom, but it's the name of Baal Shem Tov. The Pirkei Avot says, Da male mala mimcha. Da male mala mimcha. What's da male mala mimcha?
Me and Mimcha.
For all of our non-Hebrew speakers out there, da male mala mimcha is from the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot that says, know what is above you. Which is like, be careful. Ain ro'ah, ozen shomat, kol ma'asecha b'sefer nichtevim, right? God sees you, God hears you. Everything you're doing has been written down. So, know what is above you. Yeah? Watch out.
It could be comforting.
Little musar. However, the Baal Shem Tov comes along and is like, you guys are not reading this right.
Oh, I don't.
It all depends on where you put the punctuation marks. Don't say da male mala mimcha, know what is above you, but da male mala mimcha.
Me and Mimcha.
Da male mala. What is above is from you. Is from you. Okay? So explain that once. It's recorded. Don't ever ask me that again. Okay? You have to wake up every single morning and to know that you are so important and that God so believes you and trusts you and needs you in this world because it's all up to you. That's right. Bishvili nivra ha'olam. Kol adam chayav lomar bishvili nivra ha'olam. So, that was the introduction. Oh my God. Tov. וידבר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון לאמור, זאת חוקת התורה אשר ציווה אדוני לאמור. God speaks to Moshe and Aaron saying, כן, דבר בני ישראל ויקחו אליך פרה אדומה. תמימה. What do you got to take? A red heifer that is תמימה, unblemished. אשר אין בה מום, אשר לא עלה עליה אור. So it's got to be a cow. It's got to be a female cow. It's got to be a red female cow. It's got to be an unblemished red female cow that has never worn a yoke.
Pinocchio.
Okay? All of these details is exactly what I just explained. ונתתם אותה אל אלעזר הכהן והוציא אותה אל מחוץ למחנה. What did you do with this para? What did you do with this para? You took it outside of the camp. You took it outside of the camp. You took it outside of the camp. Okay? Outside of the camp. ושחט אותה לפניו. He's got to shecht it outside the camp. לקח אלעזר הכהן מדמה באצבעו וזל נוכח פני האוהל. Okay, then he takes the blood and after he burns it and he takes the blood and he's got to sprinkle it and whatnot. Okay? יפה מאוד. That's anybody out there going like, what is this crazy thing about? Right? There's a reason it's called the chok. It's like the epitome of what's called a chok. What's a chok?
Can't understand.
No.
Chok is like it's beyond logic, it's beyond sechel. Okay? Now, after you read this, you're like, really? It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So you have to understand how it still is beyond us. But ready? Buckle up, my friends. Here we go. If I'm going too fast, just tell me, and I'll go faster. Hine chamesh gvurot. I'm reading from Shar Mitzvot. You guys are following along in Safaria. Shar Mitzvot, Parashat Chukat. Shar Mitzvot is one of the 8 gates of the Arizal. It's the gate of talking about all of the mitzvahs as they pertain to the Parsha. Like Sefer Chinuch, but Arizal. Anyways, I put it on the group. You can just follow along in this book. I'm reading from the Apples of the Orchard. Know that the 5 final forms of the... Hine chamesh gvurot hanikraot mansapach. Mansapa. Shehem gematria par.
They are.
Numerical value of man?
40.
4. Numerical value of nun? 50. Numerical value of tzadi? 90. Numerical value of pei? 80. Numerical value of kaf? 20. Get a grand total of?
180.
280. Or par.
Whoa.
Par. Okay? Par. What is par? A bull. The nagach. Okay? Short the par. יפה מאוד. שהם גימטריה הפר, ואם כללות 5 אותיות הם para. So the Rizal says when you include the 5 letters themselves, and he's going to say or you talk about the gevurot as they are coming into the malchut, okay? Which in Hashem's name you have Yud, and you have Hey, and you have Vav, and you have Hey, right? What partsuf does the Yud correspond to? Ah. What partsuf does the Hey correspond to? What partsuf does the Vav correspond to? Za. And what partsuf does the last Hey correspond to? Nukva. Okay, so you see that the Heys are the feminine aspect. Always Hey. Wherever you see the letter Hey in the Torah, it's always either referring to Ima or to the Nukva. Okay? So because we said that the Gevurot, they flow from Zeranpin to who? Nukva. So the Nukva is the Hey. So you get the Hey. Okay? Para. You guys with me? Para. Okay? Chazak. Nachon? Chazak.
Shifting the parts.
Chazak. What?
Shifting the parts.
Rabbi Shimon says, someone who is only learning the 5 books of Moses, and that's it, it's better that they were never born. Because they're probably going to do more harm than good. Because if you're going to sit there and have a shout out, and you're going to sit and debate and talk and try and convince people, only simply going according to what the simple pshat, literal meaning of the Torah is, it's better that you just shut up and stay home. Okay, you know what? It's just better if you were just never born, because you're going to cause more harm than good. If you are not understanding the Torah at all of its depth, you're not really going to help the situation. So, I'm sorry, what did you say?
As the shifting of the part that's speaking of the Gemara.
Okay. 5 letters of the Hebrew alphabet on page 766. 5 letters of the Hebrew alphabet have different forms that they assume at the end of a word. Since these final forms signal a pause in the flow of the reading, these are the end letters. They signify 5 states of gevura or restraint. Okay? And so these 5 letters, they add up to the word par. Numerical value par, 280. This is 200, and this is 80. Okay? או יהיה שלפי שנמשכים מן ה' לאש אימה וזה פרה, okay? The extra hey, whose numerical value is 5, okay, is needed for it to be a female cow, a heifer, para, signifies the 5 states of Gevura as they descend to the Bina or they descend to the Malchut, okay, which is the second hey of Hashem's name, all right? Therefore, the heifer is called a para. Para. Why? Hey, Malchut, par, Gevurot. Hey, Malchut, Gevurot. Okay? First 2 letters of the word heifer, para, are simply the male or generic word for pa, but with these, with the last hey, it's para, the female. The heifer must also be red. Why?
Adam.
What? Why does it have to be red?
Adam.
Nachon. Why? What's Adon? Gevura, right? The heifer must be red because the 5 states of Gevura, it signifies it is drawn from Bina, which is the root of the Gevurot, but it's red. Red is the color of blood, usually associated with the Gevura. Okay, so here you have a little color, Kabbalah color coding. Wherever you see the word red in Torah, it's always referring to Gevura. Therefore, the word red is written without the expected vav, so that its numerical value is 50, which represents that it's coming from Bina, which also has a numerical value of Nun. I guess I would save time, I would just skip it, but the Chasadim and the Gevurot, where do they originate from? I know I said from Ein Sof, but they first have to flow from Abba and Ima. So Abba is going to be the root of the Chasadim, and the Ima is going to be the root of the Gevurot. Okay? So you have to imagine it's like, first there's Abba, and then there's Ima, okay? And then from here, okay, the Gevurot, she's going to give the Gevurot. Okay? He's going to give the Chasadim. So Ima is also called the 50th gate. Nun Share Bina. Nun Share Bina. The 50 gates of super consciousness. Okay? Like the 50th date after the Sephirah of the Omer, 49 days that we're counting. We were Shavuot, Matan Torah, the opening up of all of the supernal realms, Atzmut, or so the 50 gates of super consciousness. So this represents the number, Ima always represents the number 50, okay? So when you see the number 50, you always know it's referring to Bina, right? So it's the 50th day after the Sephirah Omer, the 50th year, the Jubilee year, all these things. 50 always corresponds to Ima. Yefem. In Hebrew, what's the letter of right? Nun, right? Nun. What's Nun? So we say that the word red in Hebrew, the word red is
Adon.
Adon. Or para aduma. But the way it's written in the Torah is without a vav. Aduma, right? Aduma. Aduma, right? Para aduma. Farah aduma. Red heifer. Heifer red. What's the numerical value of Aleph?
1.
What's the numerical value of 4? Of Dalet. Dalet, sorry. What's the numerical value of Mem? 40. And what's the numerical value of Hey? 5. Grand total of? 50. Yay! Okay, so what is this saying? It's that the Aduma, the Gevurot, where are they originating from? Ima. Okay, you guys with me? You hanging in there? Batzalo?
Yes.
Brain's not falling out?
Originating
It's
from
Ima Adama is the Mother Earth.
Ma?
Ima Adama.
Ima Adama. Ima Adama is talking about this. Maybe Ima Aduma. But Ima Aduma, when you start Ima Adama, you're talking about Malchut. She's also called Ima. This is called the supernal Ima, Ima Ila'a. And the Nukva is called, the Shekhinah is called the Ima Tata'a, the lower Ima. The lower, okay? Okay. True. Okay. Okay, this is where it gets good. Az nikra tmima asher ein ba mum. When is she called para aduma tmima? Means unblemished. When she's still in the world of Atzilut. Because this is still holy gvuras here. This is still godliness. Who lives in Atzilut? God does. This is God in the Shekhinah. It's just Elokut, right? So the gvura is called Temimah. So this is called Farah, Aduma, Temimah. Farah, Aduma, Temimah. An unblemished red heifer corresponds to the Shekhinah, the Nukva, when she's filled with the gvurot, but still in the world of Atzilut. Okay? Yefema. True, when the spiritual flow signified by the red heifer is still within the realm of holiness, the realm of Kedusha, it is pure, possessing no blemish, but when it proceeds further into the realm of evil, where does evil exist?
Below it.
The root of the impurity of its inherent states of judgment is revealed. As was explained previously, judgment, gevurah, is a necessary component of the process of transmission of Hashem's light. Why are the gevurot a necessary component? It limits Hashem's light in order to allow who to exist? Yeah, that's right. It's a necessary component because it creates evil. Me and you. It's a necessary component. Okay? But when it is exercised outside of the proper context, gvurot adds strength to the powers of evil. Okay? Adds strength. Meaning, when the unsweetened gvurot come into the world, okay, and feeds the ego, what does that increase?
Arrogance.
Evil. What? Or what? Arrogance. 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 Okay? Evil.
Good to tiny.
It's not this though.
Good to take tiny. It's the same literally in one book. One publication.
Okay.
They have a creator printed sense.
ונודע שהנתינים אלו גרמו היות זון אכול ואכול בלי זיווג. How does the gevurot go out of the camp? Yeah? What does the Torah say? You have to take the para aduma out of the camp. What's the camp? The camp is Kedusha. Machane Shechina, Machane Levaya, Machane Israel. You take the cow out of the camp. Out of Atzilus into the world of Kalipa. Out of the camp. Okay? Why is she taken out of the camp? Because there's no zivug. Why? Because Zun, Zera Anpin, and Nukva are back to back. Bli zivug. There's no zivug. There's no zivug. And if there's no zivug, what does that mean? The gvurot, i.e. ego, isn't sweetened. There's no bittul. There's no humility. There's no hachna'ah. There's no submission, surrender. There's no, you know what, I'm sorry. Or, you're right. Or, my fault.
It's our fault.
There's none of that. There's none of that. It's your fault. You're the problem. Okay? You need to change. I'm Mr. Perfect. Okay? That's called ego. That's called gevura. No zivug. The chasadim, the bittul, does not sweeten the ego. Unsweetened ego gives you more evil. What causes these evil states of judgment is the fact that Zeranpin and the Nukva were not facing each other. And therefore occurred the breaking of the vessels. Okay? Now this kind of goes back to what we learned before. The breaking of the vessels was also the same thing. What happened in the breaking of the vessels? Big lights, small vessels. Big lights, small vessels. What does big light mean? Strong gvura, big egos. Big egos. Okay? Small vessels mean there's not enough, how do they do in the Westerns? There's not enough place in the town for the two of us. What? This town's not big enough for the two of us. That's right. This town, okay? Remember, this is what the Shavira of the Kalim are. The town's not big enough for the two of us. It's either my way or the highway. Okay? How did Sinatra sing? I did it my way. Anyways, before your time there. Okay.
Who's that?
Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
No, that's a Polanco. That's a composer.
I thought, the composer. Okay. Bekitzel, my way or the highway. It's my way. So that's big lights. Can you imagine like having like 10 arrogant SOBs, like all like crammed into this little like place, right? And now they have to decide what to do. Yeah, oi. Okay, that's called shvirat hakelim. That's called shvirat, the breaking of the vessels. Means too much ego, not enough hitkalalut. How do you say hitkalalut? Like inclusion. That's right. There's not enough like to receive from one another, to appreciate one another. There's none of that. Okay. So that happens. So it's the same thing. Breaking vessels, no zivug, same thing. Okay. Yefemot, which is why they were called who broke the 7 lower sefirot, and Kabbalistically it's referring to the 7 kings of Edom. 7 kings of Edom. Why Edom? Gvura, Malchut, ego. Okay? Yefemot. In the world of Tohu, the precursors of the Partsufim of Tikkun are not facing each other, and therefore the inherent severity of the female aspects cannot be mitigated by the male aspect. Okay? What does that mean when they're not facing one another?
Sharp edges.
No mitzvot.
Me, myself, and I. Right? What is that? What's that consciousness? The consciousness is I'm doing my thing and you do your thing. I don't care about you. Okay? It can be in a relationship. It can be in yeshiva. It can be sitting on the bus. Doesn't matter. Where it's like, okay, like here, you want me to help you? Here, I'll wash the dishes. Here, I'll do it. It's like what the Zohar says, Shadar Batar Gavoy. You're like throwing it over your shoulder. You're doing them a favor. Yeah? Say, can you please take out the garbage? Hey, can I borrow some shampoo? Here, whatever, take it. You're not like facing, you're not giving them with what's called ha'arat panim. Ha'arat panim is like, you're not just doing it with love, with real wanting to give. Fine, just take it, man.
If you're giving tzedakah to somebody, you don't really want
That's right. You're giving tzedakah to somebody. You're giving tzedakah to somebody because you really want to help them? Or you're giving tzedakah because, I can't bother to look at you. That's called achor ba'achor. Achor ba'achor. I give, right? She got the gevurot. Right? It was here, but she got it from Zerampin. But he didn't really want to give it to her. So that's called achor ba'achor. And then the nukva cannot be sweetened, mitigated by the mashpia, by Zerampin. Therefore, the Sephirot cannot tolerate each other. Each one insists on expressing its own content and identity without any admixture of any other sphere. There's no communication here. There's no appreciation. There's no integration. Okay? This judgmental attitude causes the vessels of Tohu to break, and the shattered remains of this world became the consciousness of evil in the subsequent world of Tikkun. So basically, from the breaking of the vessels, fell into the world of Bria, and now that's the energy that's keeping everything alive. So basically, it's just we live in a world of ego. And if we want to actually do something about it, then we have to sweeten all of the ego in the world. How do we sweeten the ego?
Mitzvos.
That's right. Torah. It's called Torah. Okay? יפה מאוד. וזה אומרו שלא עלה עליה עול, and this is the secret of what it means that there was no yoke upon her. רוצה לומר כי לא נזדווגו פנים בפנים. What is the yoke? That it was never, a yoke was never put on her. That's kind of like a very, let's just say, elegant way of saying zivug. The ol was never put on her. Okay? Mishum achi almin, right? Because what is ol? So he says here, ol, Mishum achi almin kadmein, sheyu dinim acharim, v'yomazu al yesod ha'mekabel me'abohim. So what is the ol? What is the yoke? The yoke corresponds to the yesod. Who's yesod? His yesod. Okay? There's no zivug. It never had a yoke on it. And so therefore the gvurot are unsweetened. Chav. Okay? In Hebrew, why do we say ol?
It's not domesticated.
You can say domesticated, yeah, but it's not. There's no integration because when you put a yoke, what is a yoke? I mean, I just kind of like thought about it right now.
You put that thing on the cow, like, and it
yeah, but it means now there's a relationship between man and animal, right? That's kind of cool.
Why do you put that yoke?
That a yoke, an unharnessed animal, is just like an animal, unharnessed, unmitigated, just in its raw, natural form. But when you put the yoke on it, that's man intervening. Remember who's man? The light of Ma. Who's Bema? Light of Ban. So when the Mashpia, when you have godliness, the Nefesh Elokit is harnessing the power of the Bema. That's called the yoke. So there needs to be a zivug. If there's no zivug, then no energy. Ol, by the way, is in Hebrew, how do you write Ol? Ein Lamed. What's the numerical value of Ein? 7. What's the numerical value of Lamed? 30. Grand total of? 100. What is 100? The 100 brachas that we have to say every day. What are the 100 brachas? Bracha from the word meaning to draw down. Those are the chasadim. That's what you're drawing down. The 100 brachas are all of the chasadim that you're drawing down every day to Zer Anpin. That's what's going to be transferred to sweeten the judgment.
No, but why the 100 dudes? There's only 5 chasadim.
We said it's 22 letters, the 5 chasadim, 22 letters. That's what the Arizal says, all. Numerical value for the word yoke is 100. The same word appears in the verse, the words of David, the son of Ishai. The words of the man who is established on high, the word on high, al, is spelled the same way as the word for yoke, and therefore its numerical value is also 100. The sages teach us this alludes to the fact that David instituted the custom of reciting 100 blessings each day. These 100 blessings correspond to the 10 Sefirot and the 10 sub-Sefirot of Zer Anpin that rectify the Nukva. These blessings, i.e., channels of divine Shefa and consciousness, Mochim, flow through the Yesod of Zer Anpin, the yoke, into the Nukva to completely rectify it, to sweeten the judgment.
How long have we been saying brachas for?
What? A long time. Okay. The literal meaning of the phrase, which has never worn a yoke, right? We're talking about a Farah Aduma, Temimei that never wore a yoke. What does that mean? Literally means upon whom a yoke has never ascended, alluding to the sexual union of Zer Anpin and the Nukva. Thus, the red heifer, which is meant to signify the Sephir of Malchut, acting as the source for the power of evil, must not have worn a yoke, for it must reflect Nukva as it is still a virgin, because there's no zivug.
So any time that there's no zivug happening, we say that it's still a virgin.
Yeah, it's unsweetened. Ego, the Gvura are
If it
unsweetened.
was sweetened yesterday, then it's only today that it isn't sweetened.
I'm going to have to point you to Shar Kavanot, somewhere in Drushay Tefillah, where the Arizal asks the same thing. Says, I don't understand, why do we have to pray every single day? If you're telling me that we did the Zivug today in Shacharit, then why do I have to pray again tomorrow? Oh, because you have 6,000 years. And those 6,000 years break up to months and weeks and days and hours. And every hour there is a different permutation of Hashem's name. And in that new permutation, there now needs to be a new zivug for the divine Shefa and Mochim to flow into the world.
So every hour of
Every hour. How did the Alter Rebbe know that it was time to put on tefillin when he was in prison?
Right.
You guys know the story?
See the shame.
He was put into prison. Alter Rebbe was put into prison, and it was dark. There's no windows, but he knew when to put on tefillin because you can only put on tefillin during the day, not during the night. And so one day, one of the officers came in and they said, "What are you doing?" They say he's wearing his talis, he's wearing his tefillin. They said, "What are you doing with tefillin?" They say it's 2:00 in the morning. And the Alter Rebbe's like, "No, it's not." And they're like, "Yes, it is." And he's like, "No, it's not." Like, how do you know that? There's no clocks in here. It's a totally empty, windowless room. He's like, "Well, to tell you the truth, I see the permutation of Hashem's name that corresponds to 2:00 in the afternoon."
So like 2:00 in the afternoon today is different than 2:00.
So I know that it's daytime. I gotta put on tefillin, right?
Like next 2:00 in the afternoon be different than this.
Totally different.
How do you know the minute?
2:00 in the here. We are now again, I don't like. We could just do a whole class on like time. We don't have time. We don't have time. But the point is that every single moment, every single hour, everything is always changing. Meaning this is always happening. It's always happening. It's always renewing because there's a new moment that requires new shefa in the world. And this moment now is not, it needs new shefa. It can't rely on the old shefa that used to be there. So what does Alter Rebbe say? So the shefa that was here left and now new. This is the secret of the angels running and returning. The Sulam Yaakov. He saw the angels going up and coming down, coming up and they were bringing down new shefa, old shefa, new shefa, old shefa. It's always changing, which is why every day you have to get up and you have to daven again and again and again and again, right? Because if you don't understand that you're bringing new shefa into the world, because there's a new zivu, the world is a brand new world. It's a brand new world. It means new shefa. Okay? Whew. You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay, we got 4 minutes. Let's see if we can change. We can finish this. Now, I think we're just gonna end here. 10. Noon. Landscape. Okay. Yefemel. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this thing out. Oh. Ready? Here we go. So the idea here is that the male and female have not yet joined together. There's no zivug, and that is why the judgment, the gvurot, are coming from the malchut. Therefore, Elazar will take it outside the camp, i.e., when these originally holy states of gvura extend outside of the camp of the Shekhinah, then outside they exhibit their potential impurity. What are we talking about here? We're talking about purifying the impurity of death. Okay, you have life and you have death. What is purity? Tahor equals life. Thank you very much, Abraham. Someone was paying attention in class. Impurity means death. Avi avot hatum'ah. Avi avot hatum'ah. The ultimate death, the ultimate impurity is death. Okay? Ultimate impurity is death. It's also unsweetened ego. Okay? Ego, unsweetened, are different levels of death. What we call Rishon L'tumah, Sheni L'tumah, Shlishi L'tumah, right? And the Avi Avotu Tumah, which is like total arrogance. That's why Rashaim B'chayehem Kruim Meitim. Rashaim B'chayehem Kruim Meitim. The wicked, even in life, are called dead. Okay? Where tzaddikim, even in death, are called alive. Okay? Because they ain't got none of this. Or it's all sweet. They've just sweetened it so much, it can never become unsweetened again. So he's got to take it outside, and so now what's the tikkun? He's got to shecht it. Yeah? Why? He's got to take out the blood. What's the blood? What does the blood represent? That's right. But blood here corresponds to what? Passion. Lust. Energy, excitement for unholy things.
We have to sacrifice our passion for our wives.
Well, first you got to shecht it. You can be like, I have to take out the blood. Then what do you have to do? Then you got to burn it. You got to burn that baby down. Okay, you got to burn it in fire. What's the fire? Why I have to burn it in the fire? Not only do you shecht it like in a normal, like what do you do? You got to burn the cow. What's burning it? What's this fire? If this is unholy passion, this is holy passion. I love Torah. I love Tefillah. I love Jews. I love you. I love everything. I love mitzvahs. Holy passion. You gotta burn it. You gotta burn it. You burn it. And then when you burn it, what happens to the cow?
Ashes.
It turns to ashes. Okay? What are ashes? How do you say ashes in Hebrew? Efer.
Oh, it's like power comes
Efer. Interesting. The same word for ashes in Hebrew is seemingly close to the same word for para. Pei, resh, hey. Pei, resh, aleph. Instead, you took the para that had the 5 guvurot, and what did you do? You sweetened it, and you elevated it, and you turned it from ego into total humility to be able to be reintegrated into the unity consciousness of Hashem. Efer, I am dust and ashes. What does Avraham Avinu say? Anochi, afar, ve'efer. What is Efer? I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I got a big ego. I got a lot of skills. I got a lot of talents. I have a lot of strength, but I'm still nothing. That's called sweetened ego. When you become like dust of the earth, ashes. Okay?
So is that
So, Adkan, wait, we're over time. Oh, yeah, okay. So the word for ashes, okay, for these 280 states of Gura become all included in the one. Thus, it is the same word for cow, except that the hay has been replaced by an aleph, but we noted above the main part of the word heifer is 2 letters pei and resh, whose numerical value is 280. That's the gvurot, the mansapa, which signifies the 5 states of gvurot. Okay, and thus the transformation from cow to ashes, okay, may simply be seen as the replacement of the hay by an aleph. The 280 states of Gvurot, instead of flowing downward into the Malchut, okay, and be turning into evil and ego and arrogance, now are anchored in the oneness of Hashem, and therefore do not slip out of Malchut and out of the realm of holiness, but you have now brought Hashem down into the world. Adkan, Razad Yehuda, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, my friends. Peace, over and out.
So Aleph, you had 5 words, now you've only got 1 left. Like there's still Gevura in Achdus?